Hello everyone and welcome to Blunt Force Healing Podcast, episode 258, I believe. Sorry if I got it wrong, but I currently don't have access to my laptop and decided to record that episode as I sit here on the beach because it's not windy, so you should probably hear me well, I hope. So we are currently in Bundoran. It's not the main beach of Bundoran, but it's a Tulan strand. It's at the mouth of the Erne River, and it's just on the outskirts of Bundoran. It's more of a surfer's place. It has some signs that it's not safe for bathing, but obviously we have a lot of surfers, and when you're close to the shore, it is fairly safe in most cases. Oh, I just got a fella here. Yeah, he's really confused. Can you hear? Can you see him? Yeah. There's plenty of these guys here. I think it's the time of year that they just kind of breed. Anyway, so it's 258 days. That's more of a blooper, but I'll leave it. I won't cut it because I don't. This is a raw material and genuine as much as I can do it. So today it's very unusual because Tulan Strand is usually quite empty beach, albeit it's a very wide and long strand, so a very nice beach, but not many people like to come here. First of all, some of them are scared because it has those signs that it's not safe for bathing, so which basically means if the sea is rough, you shouldn't go into the water or far from the shore. And there is a reason, because there's a ripping current alongside the cliffs. Jesus Christ. Why is he... It's not attacking me, but he kind of likes me, I guess. And yeah, I'll show you. So you can see the cliffs there. And this is Tulan Strand. So that's... I will have to leave him. Is it one or there's more of them? So these are the cliffs, and on top of them you have Bundoran and the cliff walk. And on this side you have the rest of the strand, which goes for probably about a mile or more. Come on, man! Jesus Christ. And today, as you can see, there's plenty of people here. Like a regular sunbathers, which is not a common sight, but I guess, you know, the heat wave is here. Ireland got a lot of sun. I'm really afraid what I will feel like tomorrow, mainly because, you know, my head is all forehead, so I get a lot of that sun straight into my bloody skull. And I used to have quite unpleasant experience with sun poisoning in the past, where I was, I think we were in Portugal, and it was late April or early May, and the spring sun is quite strong, but the weather was really kind of overcast. You could see that there was a cloudy cover, albeit it was thin cover. You couldn't see the sun directly, so it wasn't sunny. It was quite normal, I would say, even cool, on the cool side. But, you know, we are getting tan and getting burned by sun regardless. If there's no proper cloud cover, those rays are coming in anyway, regardless if you see the sun or not. And I learned it the hard way, to the point where it actually... I had a swollen skin on my forehead, and I was on the verge of going to the hospital. I probably should, but I did not. And I spent the night in real pain, fever. I was emanating so much heat that I don't remember if I had ever been so sick from that perspective. So it was a very unpleasant experience. I have my cap here, so you can see me in my beautiful cap now. I'll just cover it for a while because I need to do that sparingly. So the tide is coming in. We came here, it was just after low tide, so there was plenty of space now. Where we were initially, it's already on the water. The weather is great. Ella and Julian are in the sea, in the ocean, and Julian is showing mother how to bodyboard because he just learned it while I was kind of giving him some advice. Even though I'm not a trainer or a bodyboarder myself, I observed a lot of people doing it and gave him a couple of tips, and he quickly got it right because he was discouraged at first, and then once he picked those little tips, he started going like 15-20 meters even with the waves, and he thoroughly enjoys it. So great bodyboarding experience, especially that in July we scheduled the surf camp for him, so he'll be like 4 or 5 days training for surfing, and I think it's 2 or 3 hours every day, so he'll be exhausted. But yeah, it seems like he's catching it well, and he seemed to like surfing, so we'll see how it goes. Myself and Elizabeth will probably try as well, like a single lesson, maybe 2, and see how it goes. But that's all I can say about today, because basically that's what we do today. It's all spending time on the beach. We actually just picked some food from the, I think it's called some tin can, whatever, the kind of one of those takeaways where you just see a little kind of like a van, but it's sitting just at the top of the cliff close to the car park, and it was probably the best food I've got from a premise like that is not a regular restaurant or something like that. So, and even most of the takeaways I took, like the established takeaways in the properties, like the buildings in the city, they are no match to what these ladies did with the chips. Were amazing. They were in between the regular British chips and French fries, aka like McDonald's. It was like an average cut, but they were greatly done. I think it was a double fry, so they were amazing and fresh. That was the main thing. Also, we got the ham and cheese sandwich, which I was expecting the regular kind of Irish ham and cheese sandwich, which is Brennan's bread. Most of you probably are not familiar with Brennan's bread. It's just a kind of standard toasty white bread, very soft, and just a ham and cheese inside. But I was so surprised and pleased with the fact that they actually used regular sourdough kind of bread for that, so it tasted amazing. So I must say that I'm really happy that we tried that. I need to give them shout out somewhere, probably on Instagram or Facebook, depending where they are. So yeah, we probably stay another hour or 2 here and see how it goes. But this is the day today, and I decided to record it because they went to the ocean, so I have a couple of minutes to quietly record this episode, and I might not upload it straight away from the phone, but at least I will have it ready when I'm back home prior to writing the blog post. For those of you that are new to the podcast and blog, if you don't know, the episode number matches the number of days that this podcast and blog lives, basically. And it's not like it lives 258 days over, 2-3 years period. No, it's exactly 258 days, because I post blog posts and podcast episodes every single day without any break. We'll see about that, because tomorrow is one of those stormy days, as I call them, where we actually are far away from home. We drive from Donegal to Dublin. It's about 3.5 hours drive. Then we spend day in Dublin and come back to Donegal. So it's very late when we are usually back home. So I need to plan well to make sure that I get the video episode and the blog post done, either while in Dublin or early in the morning. I don't know. It's very hard to do that in the morning, so I suspect I will be doing that in Dublin. And maybe I'll do that with Dublin. Yes, of course. Blooper number bloody X. I will do that maybe with Julian, because Elizabeth is going to the hairdresser, so she will spend probably about 2-3 hours there. So we have plenty of time to spend together, and maybe it's a good time to create a guest episode with Julian. Especially that he will have a lot to say about his experience with bodyboarding, so we have a common ground to share the details about that. If you're interested in building routines or habits, and you'd like to follow me on the journey and maybe learn something out of it, or maybe you can teach me something about routines that I might benefit from, I highly recommend contacting me or sending me feedback, either on the blog or here on YouTube or somewhere else, wherever you can find me. Blunt Force Healing is everywhere. On most of the big social media. On some of them are the other accounts, so it's not called Blunt Force Healing. I think on Facebook I have an account as Propertenor, and on Twitter also Propertenor. But all of my socials are in Blunt Force Healing blog. Every post has the social media links at the top, so you can find them. And yeah, I appreciate any feedback or engagement that you'd like to start with me, be it asking questions, commenting on stuff, maybe saying what improvement I could do. For now, it's routine building / habit building podcast and blog, because this is what I was struggling with for years, and my core habit that I hold dear and at any cost since September 19, 2022 is exactly this blog and podcast. They are the things that I never compromise on, and I always post and record since that date that I mentioned. So 258 days, guys. We are approaching 260. We'll see how it goes. But other satellite habits, I think there's one main milestone that I'm approaching. It's Duolingo. That is my only habit in terms of something beneficial, I would say, the language learning. And it's focused on Spanish, and I learn for almost 2 years. I think it's day 708 or 729 at the moment. So that lovely deadline of 2 years is approaching fast. and it's something to celebrate. All right, we are 15 minutes in. Thanks a lot for coming in and lasting that long. If you watched to the end, I hope to see you once again, and well, not once, but many times again in the next episodes. And stay safe. I hope you have a great day, afternoon, or the evening, depending on where you are. And stay tuned for more. See you again tomorrow.